Welcome to the review that nobody asked for the movie nobody asked for. Today I'm going to talk about The Crow. The critics have been slamming this movie since probably 2-3 months ago. I've been not hearing great things about it, even before it got pushed back on its release. But I usually don't trust critics, so I went into this movie with an open mind. And I will say, this is like the Brandon Lee Crow movie, if that movie completely sucked ass. The story kinda covers the same basics. It's about soulmates Eric and Shelly that are brutally murdered, and Eric is given a chance to save the love of his life. He must sacrifice himself and traverse the worlds of the living and the dead, seeking revenge. Now, my biggest issue with this movie, even though that there are many, I do not believe their love. It just feels very superficial. They escape rehab together, and she loves him because he's broken. And other than him just looking like Machine Gun Joker, the origin of his trauma, according to the movie, is that he saw a horsey die. And I'm like, we all saw the never ending story, bitch. Get over it. He's also bullied as an adult, so there's just not much to his trauma to let me know how broken he is. And then she's supposed to be a junkie, but she doesn't really consume anything outside of like a pill when they both escape. So the portrayal of characters in this movie is just so off. Half of the movie is them just like loving each other, but why should we care? You gotta make us feel the love a bit. You gotta make us care about the relationship so that it feels worth it and justifies whatever action he's gonna do later on for the movie. And it didn't. It just feels like he met this random girl and he's just dating her for a bit, and they're both in the honeymoon phase, and that's it. He's gonna do all this, kill all these people for her. It's very superficial, because also the sense of time in the movie is very off, and especially with what they do at the end. Brandon Lee's The Crow did a great job of showing how much he loved her in the first 30 seconds of the movie, without even a single word of dialogue speaking, I don't think. And it's just translated better. We know how much that Eric loved his wife. And in this new one, everything is just super dull. The dialogue is dull. This whole relationship part took way too long in the movie. I'm gonna guess about 45 minutes. The movie does feel longer than it is, but it's just their interaction between Eric and Shelly goes on and on and on. I'm like, is someone gonna kill this bitch so I can move on? Like, I wanted her to die. I wanted to see what's coming up next in the movie. And the reason she dies is because she recorded a video of the big bad doing things that reveals kind of who he is a little bit, and because of that, the people in the video have to die now to kind of keep that secret. And it sounds really stupid, because it is. I never really understood why the big bad guy was in that position, in that place anyway. So he's like this demonic crime lord that needs blood to survive, and he also has the power to whisper in people's ear and they'll do what he says. And he's played by Denny Huston, he's played villains before. He's cool, but they never use the villain to his full potential. Other than having people kill themselves over a damn video, he doesn't really use it for like crime. They should have shown how he got to this position of power by using his power, but he really doesn't. He's just chasing people from this video. The movie didn't push any boundaries in any way. He's just killing people over a video, in which the scenario where he's depicted in the video doesn't make sense anyway. Like, why is he hanging out with a bunch of younger people? It never got explained what he was doing there in the first place. I guess he wants to eat people, but if you're a crime lord, do it in a basement, kidnap something. Why are you hanging out with them? It was just so weird. And I don't have a problem with the casting. Like, the actor could have played the same part. It's just the character is simply just whack. Bill Skarsgård as the Crow has potential to be cool, but it just doesn't hit. His body is wild. Shout outs to him and all the work that he put in. He's just so boring. He's just moping around the whole movie. This Eric has absolutely no flavor whatsoever. He doesn't change personalities when he actually becomes the Crow. He's just the same guy, just wandering around being boring. Why not have him be interesting? There's also this guide that he has in the world of the dead, and he's kind of like showing him the ropes, kind of telling him the rules. And again, the casting and the character choices for this guy was just super dull. There's nothing special about him. He's always here. He's always at the same level. No matter what he's explaining, no matter what he's talking about, he's always here. There's no range in his voice. There's no range of excitement within the guy whatsoever. The tone he's using is the same. It's just really boring. I don't fault anybody who fell asleep during this movie. I'm not gonna lie. But it's like, why not do something interesting? In the comics, the character that they use to kind of show Eric the ropes is a skull cowboy. How cool is that? Okay, for budget reasons, I get it. You don't want to have a skull cowboy guy? That's fine. But at least cast someone who's gonna excite the audience just by seeing the actor. Like in Idris Elba, he could be like a cool cowboy who's kind of a prick. Or a Tommy Lee Jones, Sam Elliott. Just an old, withered bastard cowboy who's just tired of everything. He's just tired of life. He's tired of the underworld. And he's very just like matter of fact about things. That would have been cool. I was also thinking about Boyd Holbrook. He could have just kind of be a prick, add some sort of mystique to him. Like he's still teaching them the ropes, but you gotta add something that makes us think, oh, is he actually trying to help him? Or is he using him for his own good? Again, something interesting, something that adds some sort of mystique, mystery, something, anything. But instead it's just this lame guy who kind of looks like a taxi driver, just chilling. The word to describe this movie is straight up dull, man. Visually, it's dull. There's no risks taken. They don't do nothing cool. It does nothing to like create or build some sort of atmosphere to make me think, oh, it'd be kind of cool to live in this world. Nah, it's just wet. Okay. Even musically, it's very uninspiring. The movie's just there. There's also some weird editing. There's this one part where it makes it feel like, oh shit, we're gonna get a Crow montage. But instead he goes and sits on a couch because he's still like trying to figure it out. But the edit made it look like, okay, we're gonna get some and then he goes and sits on the couch. So you're like, what? It just made it look super foolish. Other than Skarsgård's body, because shout outs to him, a lot of work was put in. I did like the fact that he's not like a super crazy fighting expert. Like in the beginning, he's trying to fight, but he fails. So it makes sense that along the movie, he's learning. He's taking more risks because he knows that he can heal. He can absorb damage. So I'm just gonna go for it. So I did like that. That did make sense to me. But because of that, it doesn't lend itself to any jaw-dropping choreography whatsoever. The action is just fine. There is one sequence that I really did like that takes place in an opera house. But again, it could have been even cooler if it was actually synced to the music instead of just having the music going and then him kind of fighting. If there was some sort of visual synchronization or do something cool, just do something cool for fuck's sake, just something cool. But it also took too long to get there. So it really just felt like too little too late. There's really not much for me to like figure out what I actually liked other than that and how the sound effect of the gun are. It's just like very hefty and powerful. That's pretty much it, man. Like this movie feels like it's over 2 hours, but it's under it. I did not like the ending because they did nothing to make us give a shit. Plus there's some weird time travel, time erase thing that happens that doesn't make sense at all to me and just ends up feeling stupid. Yeah, the critics were completely right about this one. I feel like movie studios should be investigated when movies this bad come out. Like, are they laundering money? Are they hiding something? Like, what's going on? Because if your job is to produce entertainment, how do you not know this sucks? If it was made entirely by one person, I understand because you're not getting any input or insight from another point of view. But it's a whole team. It's a whole studio. And no one took a second and be like, you know what? This is not it. This is not good. Nobody? The worst part is that these people behind the creative are going to move on and do other crap. It feels like there's no consequences for them. It's a nothing movie, really. I feel bad for the actual people who have no input in the creative and are just working there, mostly the actors and whoever else is there. But I just really get annoyed with movies who waste opportunities. You're given the Crow property. There's a lot of things you could do there. And instead, you just waste people's time and waste potential. I'm going to say for y'all to skip it. You can Google the best parts later on. Google pictures of Bill Skarsgård's body. And if you don't even want to do that, I'll put some up right here. Once the movie comes out on digital, just Google the opera killing scene. And that's it. Those are the only two bright sides of this entire movie. Better yet, watch our episode on the list that I'll leave for you guys right over here. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to always and forever, you do.